Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here tonight with the only person we will allow to slide into our DMs at any time, Mo, or Little Mo, from Riot Fest, and also independently graphic design. How are you?
I'm good. Wow. What an intro. I asked to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like hanging out with you guys. I feel like we don't hang out often other than like seeing each other at shows.
Wasn't that like a thing though, where somebody's like, you can just hang out with your friends, you don't need to start a podcast?
I know it's probably a joke at some point,
Yeah. Or like you're only funny to your friends. It's okay. You don't have to start a podcast.
But I think that every time I see a new podcast pop up, and like I want to be nice and I want to be supportive, but I'm also like, you don't have to post that. You could just have it.
Put that up there.
You know,
you didn't have to make anything.
There's so much more effort that goes into like doing the clip and doing the camera and stuff. Like it's just easier to just make a joke. It's okay to just make a joke.
It's also much more. It's like very inexpensive also to just make a joke.
Exactly. And then no one else has to hear it.
You know what? I had to have a very difficult conversation with one of my talents at work, and it was, everyone can podcast, but not everyone is a podcaster.
Wow, that's deep.
Wow. This is Lizzie's poetry hour.
It's like God's poetry hour.
We are literally going to name this episode, Not All Content is Good Content.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd love that, actually. That'd be great.
Mo, Riot Fest, graphic design, etc. How would you define yourself?
I don't know. I'm just here.
Vibes.
You've been, because I've noticed you've been more the face of the Riot Fest Twitter and the Riot Fest TikTok and the Riot Fest Reels.
The TikTok, yes. The Twitter is like a hellscape that I refuse to be the master of.
Fair.
Honestly, I could never. I look very tough, as you can see, but I'm so susceptible to criticism. Like if somebody was mean to me, I'd probably start crying.
Are people generally mean to the Riot Fest Twitter?
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe not, but it's just a lot of like, you should do this. The whole like you suck branding, totally get. But at some point, like I would probably wake up in the morning and just be like, do I suck? Me as a person, is it
me?
Have I internalized this?
Yeah. Am I the reason Riot Fest sucks? I could be, which
Then you
No.
I don't think you are. I just think that's a spiraling moment, and who among us has not been there?
So you haven't seen me in a couple of months. That's probably why.
Yeah. I mean, you also work a lot on everything. You're doing the most.
I do a lot of things. Unfortunately, you see me like gaze off and then
Yeah.
And then you just like disassociate the entire episode.
Yeah. Just like you guys just continue and I'm just here.
Yeah. That would actually be the top content we could do. Just Mo in the background while we're talking about anything.
Just have like a tiny little like Mo cam.
Yeah.
And it's just me just like sitting.
You're like every so often just
You're like, yeah, that's good.
The dog cams where you can like give them a treat. That's what it'll be.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
I would love that, honestly.
We have come up with so many things this last like week and a half where we're like, what if we start incorporating our friends into like the podcast episode or other content, and it just keeps on coming and it don't start coming.
Okay. And Mo, you could be somebody that we did this with. Just like having like these little like sections.
I say no to anything, everything. But that's such an easy yes if you're like, all you have to do is sit inside of your house, be on camera, and then sometimes we press a button and a little treat falls out. I don't have to talk. I don't have to interact. I just have to exist, and I get food.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could set it up. Like, it could be like that little thing. It's like, oh, if you want to, I don't know, do something, or like we hit the button and then somebody like orders you DoorDash and it just shows up at your house.
To specifically be the like dog cam where it's like black and white and super grainy. You're like, who is this enclosed animal in the corner?
You're like, whose the pet is this? Look at these dumbasses.
You have Mo on a Ring camera for some reason.
Yeah, why? I'm like, let them in the house. Let them in the house. Why won't you let them in?
You tap into somebody's Ring cam? Are you just spying on somebody right now? No. They want to be here.
They want to be there. No.
Volunteered for this.
And then we change the background every time, though, so everyone is always like, what new place is Mo at in this grainy ass picture?
It's like, oh, I have to be at a show that night. It's like, no problem. Here's the Ring cam. Just take it with
Yeah,
you.
here's a Ring cam.
I'm holding it.
Yeah.
In the crowd, just like face up. Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, if I follow the stream, I'll be able to see the show. Nah,
Yeah.
you're just watching Mo's reaction
In
to
like
stuff.
360p.
Yeah. Holy shit. I hate that we just came up with some of the greatest ideas in the first like 5 minutes of this recording.
I know, right? Isn't it crazy? We keep doing this. Content machines.
I would do it. I would do it.
All content.
I'm just saying I would do it.
It's about to go down. Okay. So our other idea, and I feel fine putting this on the recording because I've already told him about it and I don't give a shit. And
Yeah, which
Lizzie
is
also
good. I love
enabled by Lizzie
made a
also did a graphic design, so you can rate
It
the
was, like,
graphic design
Canva
later.
in like 5 seconds for the bit.
Oh, perfect.
Do you know our friend Andrew? He has a lot of takes and opinions about everything.
He also
That's
known
like-
as fucking Andrew.
Such a normal person name.
Yeah, I just said a white guy. I just said, do you know this
You
white
just
guy?
said
And
a
you're like,
white guy from Kansas City.
Fucking come on
it
now.
could be any of them.
Quite literally so many of them.
also, he's not on Twitter, so he doesn't have takes that will come across your timeline. It's like takes you have to
wait.
experience in
He
real
puts his
life.
And he puts his and his takes are also on Facebook.
He does put his takes on Facebook. So we want to start this section where
Is
it's
he
called
above the age of 36?
No. Also,
But he isn't in his 30s.
what are you saying about people over the age of 36 right now?
Brian just turned 36 last week.
Well, last week.
I know he's over the hill. It's okay.
We went from the greatest ideas and now we're going to the end of the podcast. So in our old age, sometimes we have takes that go on Facebook. Not me, but other people. Also, no, he's
Brian
not
just
over the
puts
age
it
of
on the
36.
podcast.
That's why I started a podcast.
Well, you're
So I
in
can
the
have
right
terrible
age
takes on the
range.
internet. Thank you.
You are right in the age range for a
Just,
podcast.
30-something white dude just wants to talk shit.
I hate that I'm a stereotype, but I am a stereotype. And
You
we
know
just
what? You just gotta
accept it.
accept what you are.
I can't change
embrace
it.
it.
So we want to do a section called Andrew's Anecdotes because he'll tell you a story and then he will post that story on Facebook and he will also have that story to everybody that he talks to about that same thing. And we're like, we just need this as a segment. We're just like, all right,
It's
and
like
now for
telephone almost.
Andrew's Anecdotes. And it's like, Andrew's Anecdotes. And then we go into that section.
What
And-
you should do, hear me out.
Please.
What you should do is you should just make it a book. You should just like
Oh no.
make it like Ruby poem style. Print it out. Have that bitch on Amazon. Prime next day. Like,
I originally thought of those like gag books that are at like Paper Source and you're just like, yeah, like that's funny and kitschy and like very millennial. That's what I
yeah.
was envisioning.
yeah, like the ones that you read while you poop.
Yeah, like they're for
Yes.
funsies. Like for literally shits and gigs.
Yes.
Literally shits and gigs. Just in your bathroom, like,
Have you never had that experience? Because I
Come
think
on,
we
Brian,
gotta talk about that.
no, I have. And
I was like, you're the most millennial of all of us.
that is true. I'm the deepest millennial.
You're sleeper state millennial. Damn.
Sleepers.
I'm part of the deep state millennials.
Yeah. He was one of the first waves that came out.
First wave millennial. Every time you say something else about it, I feel worse about it. Fuck, man.
Killed me. The first wave.
I don't know. My back hurts.
Millennialdom.
And I don't have a mortgage. It sucks.
You're sad you don't have a mortgage?
Wish I had a house.
That's fair. The housing market
Yeah.
actually kind of sucks right now, though.
It is
Man,
very
look.
terrible.
Does it mean I'm not going to try? No.
Now, will I tell you I have tried and had a mental breakdown about the other day? Absolutely.
Have
Do I
fun with
recommend
that
it?
interest
Not really.
rate, bro.
Yeah.
What am I to do on the other side? Also, this is
I
where we
think
get into the real deep shit. It's like, let's talk about fucking
Yeah.
interest rates. Let's get
You
into
wanna
the
know- you wanna
housing
know what's
markets.
crazy though?
You
When
see the fault, like the viewer count just go down.
They're like, yeah,
one
Nah,
by
man.
one.
No, this is
You gotta stay in.
This is financial information that TikTok won't tell you unless you buy their class.
So true, though.
Yeah.
I want to be the kind of streamer. I was thinking about this earlier, and I was like, I want to be the kind of streamer who's just like, I'm gonna do my taxes.
I'm gonna do my taxes a lot. You don't
I'm
just
like,
take him to a tax guy?
No better way to get identity thieved, but also like it's
Thieved.
the exact same kind of thing that I would absolutely watch somebody else do and would try to create content out of doing my own taxes.
There is some girl did like an aesthetically pleasing, like doing my taxes today TikTok, and it was like she like got her like big ass calculator that was the size of like a notebook. She got her colorful little pens and like sticky notes and stuff.
You mean this?
Straight up, no,
Yo.
no, even where it was literally,
bigger?
yeah, the buttons were literally the size of like
Yo.
sticky notes. It
Yo.
was shit. And she like everything was organized, and she like had her little coffee with her little Keurig and like all that shit. Never showed the actual tax doing.
Okay, that's good.
I mean,
But
again,
like,
But also, how do I
gathered-
know you're actually doing your taxes?
identity
girl?
thieved.
Maybe she starts crying when she's halfway through. And she's
So
like, I don't
fair.
understand what blind B1 means.
But like me doing my taxes is like turbotax.com, enter.
See, me doing my taxes going to a guy and being like, here's my stuff.
I had
Thank
a
you,
guy
goodbye.
in college, and then I just like I got a salaried job and started doing less freelance, so I got less like W whatevers, 9s, 7s, 4s, 3, 2, 1.
One of the many,
99.
one of the numbers.
One of the numbers, whatever they are.
We could get into just like some straight up, just like, I'm an independent contractor. I do graphic design freelance. Here's the kind of shit you need to know for when you're doing your taxes.
The
Tax
thing
season is
it's like,
upon us.
I have
Oh,
no
no.
fucking clue.
Yeah.
Like I would be here, but I would need like a fourth person to explain it to me.
Yo.
I just click buttons and wait until the green check mark shows up on the screen. Like I don't fucking know.
You're like, all right.
Cool.
Everybody
But
drop
then
your
you hope you get
1099s
money
in chat.
back. Everyone
Nobody drop your 1099s in chat.
Yeah, no. Everyone drop if you're a W-2 or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
If anyone's watching, we are not trying to steal any identities.
I
We
might
are
be.
not that smart.
Speak
Okay.
for
I do-
yourselves.
I do wish I was somebody better than me, but I'm not going to get that off of your tax forms.
Would you like to go talk about that possibly?
No.
I was about to
No.
say, do you want to go down the therapy rabbit hole?
No, dude, Excel's going to fix my life. It's fine. I got so many cells.
W2s.
Okay. All right. Market
yeah,
88
fucking-
literally just dropped W2 in chat. Unfair and correct and accurate.
Perfect.
Let's talk more about things you can tell us. The entire Riot Fest lineup of 20. I'm kidding.
I wish it's so. It's. I think people. I was having this thought the other day, actually. So now this is an opportunity for me to say it. But I think people misunderstand that because I work for Riot Fest, that like I love punk music, and don't get me wrong, I do. It's great, fine. But like my ideal lineup would probably be like Meg The Stallion, Doja Cat, and like SZA, and like no white guy. Just
Sorry, Brian, you can't perform.
I'm going to go.
yeah. Oh,
Because that sounds like a fucking phenomenal lineup.
I'll take your money.
Yeah.
But
All I'm saying is, how do we make this actually happen?
you let me know when you figure it out, because
Yeah, I was about
I've
to
been
say,
here
I feel
8
like-
years.
I feel like you have to acquire Lollapalooza.
Yeah, I feel like it just has to be
somehow.
Lollapalooza.
Yeah,
We have to acquire C3 Entertainment.
yeah, or whatever may happen to them, as far as like burning the building down, maybe, or
Oh,
something.
this is very ominous. Is there goss going
What?
on?
Who said that? Whoa!
Oh, wow.
I'm not here to announce.
Mo,
I'm not here to drop anything on the lineup. I am here to announce my secret building burning.
I can't believe Mo was just possessed live on stream. Wow, that's crazy,
Whoa.
bestie.
Yikes!
The stallion speaks through me.
That's new merch right there.
Yeah, it is.
Just Meg the Stallion. The stallion speaks through me.
Put it on a Riot Fest tee though, and everyone's gonna be like, "What?" And you're really don't
No.
even worry about
Don't
it.
even worry about it.
Okay, put it
stress.
like in a tarot card format, and then it's like the stallion speaks
No,
through me.
it has to be merch for you guys, and we stylize it. We stylize it as like on the back, like a hardcore tee with like the like lyric, and then like the black and white photo and like a lyric.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
the stallion speaks through me.
And then it's just us on the stream being
Yeah.
Us on the stream just watching Megan the Stallion music
Yes.
videos.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll design it.
We'll sell it, and people only like so many people are gonna get the bit, and they're gonna be like, "What's that?" And be like, "Are you cool?"
All of our merch ideas we've ever had have just been for one bit, and then we never have them designed though.
Oh, do you guys have merch at all?
We have, yeah. I'm looking at it right now in my house.
It sits there in storage until people buy whatever we have left.
One of those.
We did,
Been there.
So we had a designer working with us, and then we ran out of money to pay the designer to do things because, life
Yeah.
happens.
Small
That
biz.
happens. For sure.
We bought equipment. We bought things we needed for the stream. We
Yeah.
bought Lizzie a
Yeah.
PC. Like we got a lot of stuff that we needed for the stream.
Yeah,
Merch
yeah.
just fell by the wayside, and you obviously need to put up a lot of money to invest in merch. That's the tax form of merch
101,
conversation.
Everyone. You're getting
Also-
a life lesson rundown right now.
Yeah, also I really think that when people are doing like their own merch, they got to think about shit that isn't t-shirts.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you can sell that aren't a t-shirt, because think of all of the sizing that you have to guess,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, let me get like 12 mediums and like one extra large.
Yep.
And then
I
nobody
have-
buys the mediums.
I've basically said to myself, it's like there's one thing I can do with merch, and it's wear it. I should not be in part of any of the other like production, sizing, design. Like I just need to like say, you know what? That's not what I'm good at, but I am good at buying something that I like to
And
wear.
wearing it.
And that's it. I'm great at that part. So
You're
I'm
a
just going to stick
perfect
to what I'm good
consumer.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
just think capitalism has a lot of benefits, and it's just, I don't know. Anyway,
Oh no.
the bit, guys.
Brian,
Please do
you're
not
taking
clip
it too
that.
I'm
I'm a rampant socialist. I am
my
an
God.
awful socialist.
Are you a purple hair leftist?
I-
Like all of us are.
Lizzie?
Brian?
You are literally a purple hair leftist. Can you
Yeah.
chill out?
No. I
But
almost said that in class one day when I was teaching. I'm like, oh, I can't say that. Gotta back it up.
As a graphic designer, though, like, how do you feel about like the clients you get who are like, I want merch, and it's like you don't fucking know what you're talking about.
It is hard because I think that at the end of, I think like myself as a graphic designer, like if you ask for it, I could probably deliver it. Even if it is a bad idea, I can like steer you in the way that it's like not as much of a bad idea.
It's pretty like
Or-
halfway D's.
Yeah, or like it's a bad idea, but at least it looks good. Like, but I don't know. I don't think everybody ever really knows what they want when they like step to, unless they are sort of like a creative person themselves, and they're like, oh, I want it to look like this, and I want it to look like this. I just don't have the skill set to do it. I'm like, oh, sick, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the people who are like, I want this font to look handwritten, but also be a font. And I'm like, well, you choose one.
You choose one or the
And
other.
they're like,
bestie.
okay, well, here's it as a font. And they're like, but I want it more handwritten. I'm like, okay, well, let me write it. And they're like, It doesn't look quite like a font, though.
Whose hands are writing this?
Yeah, like what do you want? Like,
Show me the hands you want.
Show me the hand you want to write this.
like show me these hands, because
You're about to see mine.
You're about to see. Wait, I'm trying to do the bit here. You're about to see these hands.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Armed and ready.
Armed.
I hate it. I hate it so much. All content is good content. I'm coming around on it.
It's all gonna be written with this hand, this decapitated fake hand. That's it. That's what they're looking
Perfect. Even better.
So how often like do people like just come to you and say, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Please help me. Please. About graphic design specifically, if they come to you about anything else and they ask you questions about that as a life guru,
Like,
that's fair too.
There.
When was the last time you rode the red line? Because that happens
Oh God.
all the time.
I was on the red line and there's some dude preaching and he's like, this pastor's gonna be Trump's VP. And I'm like, I just need to get up to Addison. Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's give or take. It depends. I feel like most bands, either I don't know. I feel like bands never really know what they want. They know what they think looks cool, but they don't know if what looks cool is meant for their band. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's so fair, bestie. But also, like, you gotta tell me what you want. It's like deciding what you want for dinner. I know it's really, really hard, but at some point, you gotta eat.
You just gotta take the wheel and go for it.
Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Now, here's the thing. Have you ever, like, what was a design that you were given and you were like, Hundo Pete, this is not going to go at all. But the band or the org was very adamant concerning it. Like, what was it and how did it go?
Oh God.
Oh,
I had a client, they wanted a specific shirt that was like, we want to make sure that this shirt shows like women in the punk scene, so it has to look like punk-y. Literally, that's what the email said, like -y, punk-y.
Oh.
And like we'd like, there to be like a woman figure in it and like all of this. And I was like, well, I can do that. Let me do a couple drafts and I'll get back to you. And my whole thing about like me specifically as a designer, because I identify as like they and she, that I try to do like body forms that aren't necessarily like female or like femme, I suppose. And so I came back to them, like, the figure had no face. It was very much so, like, neutral. There was, like, probably a speaker, a boombox or something. And they just were really harping on the fact that they really wanted there to be a woman. And I was like, listen, if you as an organization want to represent alternative music in its entirety, I'm gonna lay it down for you real easy. And that is no.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I mean, like, it was fine. I was like, either you take this or like you find someone else, because I'm not gonna draw a woman if you want this shirt to like speak to people. I also have like a thing about like men wearing like women's bodies on t-shirts, and like that's a whole thing with me. Done in the right way can be perfect. Great, not a problem. But yeah, something about it, I was like, no.
Do I need to change out of my Sailor Moon t-shirt?
yeah. I was just thinking about that. I was like, Brian's wearing a Sailor Moon tee right now.
No, I respect it.
Look, just a
For
fan.
now.
For now.
For now. You're on thin ice.
Yeah, you had some pretty bad takes before it came on screen.
I'm sorry. I'm fighting evil by moonlight.
But are you winning love by daylight?
I'm winning nothing but
you. Are you fighting
Brian,
us?
I really
that's
think
part of the problem.
Brian, I really think you can like fix everything if you buy everyone in this chat some part of the Sailor Moon Jimmy Choo's collection.
Jesus Christ.
those things are fucking
Those are stupid expensive. They are all very perfect though.
There's nothing like using nostalgia to sell really expensive shit.
Things.
I bought this at Target for $10. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Interesting. Listen, I have my Sailor Moon Vans.
Oh, me too.
That's the closest we're getting. Which ones do you have?
I have the high top ones.
Ooh, I got the navy blue ones with all their little ones. I missed the one that had bows on them, and I'm really pissed actually.
It's all right. Maybe you'll see them again.
They're on the resale
Miley
market.
Cyrus song.
Believe in you. I don't even think that. Sorry, circling back. I don't even think that client ended up using the like shirt that I designed for them. I don't really know what ended up happening with that. But also, they asked me to design it like at the end of August.
Oh.
So I don't remember anything past July. So
nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing really happened. Nothing went down.
I'll trust Lizzie on that one.
We said the same thing.
Yeah, but Brian, it's you.
I had the same thoughts.
Did you? You know, your tone and inflection really says otherwise.
This is exactly why I started a podcast, so people would have to listen to me. It's not working. Damn.
Well, listen, most about the blanket now.
The blanket's off. Blanket's off these hands.
Not really warm. So heated.
I know.
There's one thing that I do find really interesting about that though is that like it isn't like you just go to a graphic designer like an art store and you go, I would like one art, please. It really is like building a relationship with an artist to do a skill which a lot of people in the music industry don't have and do need.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there is an argument for like AI generated art in that capacity, but I also think that it's like, why don't you just like hire a person? Like at that point, do you value human life?
It's literally like, hey, do you remember that Will Smith movie, I, Robot? Hey, do you remember what happened in I, Robot?
That.
I don't think we want that, bestie.
Are you Will Smith? How dare you?
But I don't know. I think that like also people who are hiring a designer or anyone who's making them an art thing, one art, have to understand that there are like designers and there are illustrators and they're not necessarily interchangeable. And I think that when illustrators are like approached, it's because like, I really like your style, you do a really cool thing and I want my thing to look like that. Designers more or less also have a style, but I think can mimic styles of things that they see. So like I could probably make a logo that looks like, I don't know, Seinfeld, as anybody could, but like I can do that, but an illustrator is like, well, I have this specific style that I do. Do you want it?
Do you want it? Otherwise, go away.
Yeah, exactly. And like, baseline, I think if you're asking somebody to make you an art, you should have the money ready to pay them properly, as I'm sure both of you know.
Oh yeah.
But that is a whole other thing too, that inflation, but that people think, well, you're just doing this thing, like it's not that expensive. I'm like, well, you're not necessarily paying me to do the thing. You're paying for the years of experience and skill set I have to do this thing very easily and make it look good for you. And nobody wants to pay that. And I get it. We're all poor. We're all broke. Some of us are unemployed, but we all have rent to pay and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can only bargain and trade, like do tradesies for so long until you're like, okay, like this is no longer going to pay my rent this month.
This logo will cost you 1 cow, 3 chicken.
Yeah.
Listen,
Lizzie's trying to do a Red Dead Redemption on this.
You just do tradesies for
I went down to the market and I traded a goat for 3 chickens.
It's the barter and trade system. Brian, if you were so anti-capitalist,
okay.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Have you considered anarchism today?
Oh, no. no.
No, I don't have a farm. I've reached the anarchist phase of the podcast.
That is so funny. Well, Mo, talking about prices, one of the biggest things that I see usually online on Twitter, on TikTok specifically, is always the statement of you should always pay artists for their work. But also on the flip side, a lot of these artists or like photographers or anybody in the creative industry is coming up. The biggest question is, how much do you charge and what is an acceptable rate to charge? So for somebody who's trying to figure that out, what is a way that you try to go around putting a price for your personal services, or that you've seen others do it?
I think that when I was in college and kind of didn't really consider myself like a graphic designer, I was like, oh, I'm a student. I think it was like, I don't know, what do you want to give me?
I have eggs from the chickens.
I have a chicken. You know them eggs at the
Can I offer you an egg in these trying times?
It was definitely like, okay, logo for $35. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm like 19. Like, sure, I'll figure. Sure, why not? And then I think that baseline, I don't think anybody should be charging lower than like $150. If you're still in college and like, I don't know, like haven't finished your degree program yet or anything like that, I think it also is, in this day and age, it's really hard to deem like a skill set because, and this might be my own hot take about it, that there are like TikTok graphic designers that are like, I do this, like, I'm a graphic designer, look at this thing that I did. And I'm like, well, it's cool that you did it, but I don't think that quite qualifies as graphic design. It's like an art project. And sometimes design isn't an art project. But like it all kind of objectively feels like the same thing. So if you just want whatever black text on like a white background, does it equal 150 or does it equal less than that? And I wish I could answer that question. But it's more so, I don't know. I think that anybody right now, if you're me and you're making shirts and album covers and posters or anything, I wish that there was a number. Ideally, I would love to do everything for $750 baseline, but like not everybody can afford that. You're talking to like DIY bands. You're talking to people that don't necessarily have that kind of money despite how many members are in that band or anything like that, you know? You have to think about, as a designer, like what is the value of the thing that I'm making them? If it's an album, this album is going to live forever as that artwork for that song or for that piece of like that project. And that may or may not deem itself more worthy than, let's say, like a t-shirt that might go out of style in a year or, you know, less than that. Logos, I think, are extremely expensive, and people don't necessarily understand that because they're like, well, it's just a thingy with some thingies, and it's like, whatever. And you're like, well, no, think about literally how many logos there are in the world that have never changed, ever. Like, that's an expensive ass, like, art.
I'll take one expensive art, please.
One whole art is very much money.
Yeah, so it's more like, how much is this thing that I'm making worth to my client? And therefore, I think you can base the money on that. I just don't think anybody should be doing anything less than like $200 or $300 if you're just starting out. And by starting out, I mean like maybe, I don't know, have been doing it for a little bit. It's hard. There's so many people that are better than me that are like 10 years younger than me. So I'm like,
And you're like, ugh.
No. Fuck them kids. I'm 100 years old. I'm allowed to say this.
No,
Everyone
he's
is
200
kids.
years old. He's really
That's
up there,
right.
you know?
That's right. That's right.
Everything hurts and I'm dying. I agree with you though about the like minimum 200, and I find it so weird that people like I see just like everything you do in your life as a resume. And when you go to find a new job that pays you more, you show them this resume and you say, these are all of my years of experience. This is all the stuff I've done in my time. Please pay me this salary for all of this stuff and hire me for your job. And then you look at somebody who's done the exact same thing for art, and you look at their visual resume on their Instagram or their website or wherever it is, and you go, man, that is so cheap. What the fuck are you thinking? Like you're like, I'll sit down and I'll write a 2-page like cover letter and resume, and I'll think about all the stuff I've done in my life, but I can't afford that for anybody else that I know. Wild to me.
It's hard. It's so hard, I think, because you obviously want to like support each other in the scene. You want to support like other DIY people, and unfortunately, that means monetary.
Yep.
You got to listen to the bands that you want to be super rich and famous. You got to listen to them. You got to buy their merch. You got to show up to their shows and not ask for guest lists. You got to buy a ticket and you got to show up with your human body. Mm-hmm. Or, maybe your robotic body. I don't know. I'm not going to discriminate that.
Yeah, but or like send a friend in place and be like, yo, just like send me some Insta stories.
I've had on a Segway.
No, Brad.
And it just rolls around in there, It's like, hi, I'm at the gig.
I'm at the gig, but I'm at the home.
I think we've cultivated an audience that if you ever had the opportunity to put your face on an iPad on a Segway at the gig and you got to stay home, I think we've cultivated an audience that says, yep, I will sign up for that. I will pay whatever it costs.
Oh, God. But can you imagine then being a band and you show up and everybody's that?
Yeah, where's the pit?
I would think that'd be so funny.
Is just like Wally all over.
Oh no,
again.
it's all sticks and squares.
Oh God.
Sticks and squares.
And then just like a bunch of people with grainy video on their couch with like their family, like just we're watching the show, hun. There's a part of me that says that is so dystopian, and there's a part of me that says I think I'm gonna be dystopian. Like,
no, I mean,
if you think about it, that's what 2020 was. Like everybody did a live stream, bands performed, and it was just you're performing to an empty room and a camera.
Yep.
And if they could have put all of the screens up on a big screen, that's all it would have been. Is just like windows of people watching.
There's room for both. And my lazy ass is definitely taking one of the choice.
Live streaming is like it's so crazy how now post 2020 like accessible it is, because people realize that people had to sort of like make the infrastructure for it, because they were like, shit, like I gotta make money. But it would be really awesome if like bands could just live stream their music as well as like have a crowd. And I know that there are obviously like rules and regulations and all of that blah 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 that goes into it. But
capitalism.
I don't know. I think that if we're moving towards making a music scene that is more inclusive and more accessible, then that includes like technology-based inclusion and accessibility. Live stream your shows if you can.
Yeah. It's honestly like almost as simple as just setting up like a camera and hoping for the best like with sound. But like, there are people who will
the soundboard.
do that.
Yeah.
It's actually a very easy thing if you just hook up an Ethernet cable.
No, it is. I mean, literally, so many of my friends' weddings, like this past summer, like this past year, were also live streamed just because, people couldn't make it out. Mm-hmm. And it was so easy to set up that the last wedding I went to, my friends were like, oh, we had to have our other friend who was a guest at the wedding come like an hour early, make sure it was all set up. And he was like, yeah, no, it took only 10 minutes. The biggest issue was that they changed the Wi-Fi password at the church and nobody knew what it was. I'm like, that sounds about right.
But the thing that is the issue with that I've seen is that then you have venues monetizing that accessibility, and obviously that's a whole thing, and then there's just so many other checks and balances that come with it that I understand why people don't, and I understand why bands can't. Lame.
Yeah, I mean, as being in the live streaming space this whole time since COVID happened, and it's look, I feel whatever I feel about it, but we play people's music on stream and the stream will mute us. And somebody from somebody whose username is just DMCA enforcement officer has come into our chat multiple times and says, everything looks fine here. Carry on. So, and there's plenty of DJs on Twitch. There's plenty of people that just like play music, and there's plenty of artists that just come on and do it. And I'm like, yeah, like I think we need to find a way to just open that up because it does benefit the artist in the end overall anyway. And most like venues I've seen do it, like they think about it in a way of like, well, if somebody discovers that we're a venue nearby that is hosting acts like this, they'll want to come to our venue. Then you get to a certain level and you're like, well, we're not streaming like the big concert that's sold out. Like it's sold out. We don't need to do that. There's like a balance there, but it generally does benefit. Like I think we've all seen in many ways that doing some things for free does benefit you monetarily in the end if you can find a way to balance it all out.
Oh, absolutely. Preach it, sister.
It's all a balancing act because no matter what, like everything's going to unfortunately end up being monetized in this society.
Yeah.
Capital.
God.
I've also thought that about, and obviously I would never say anybody should do anything for exposure. Like Lizzie and I as podcasters would also never do anything for exposure. I think that it's still a bad like holdover from the old days where it's just like, I'm not paying you, so you do it for exposure, you take the job. And now we like everybody in a creative space definitely has more power to say no to that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
As somebody who is like I've been thinking lately about like, I want to make music for bigger artists or like bigger people like who need music created for them just for free and just like send it to them and say, hey, I made this for you. It's yours. You can play it on Twitch. You can play it in your YouTube videos. Here you go. And it's like that to me is like, I'm a passionate fan of this thing. I want to do this thing that I have a talent for because I'm already working on my craft. I'm already doing it, but I'm not going to do that for just like random guy down the street who asked me for it. But I am like from the exposure level. It's like, no, you should be a fucking gigantic creator. And here's a free song. Do with it what you will.
Fair.
Yeah.
So I'm going to write some of the worst music.
Oh no.
I'm not giving him the good shit. I'm gonna hold the good shit back. Yeah.
Oh. You could probably do like sample packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like little EPs.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that do that.
I'm probably just going to play Rock Band on stream. That'll be the sample pack.
No,
The worst you hear the like clicking of the button.
Yeah, and you hear it. That's a part of it though. Someone can use that as like a sound effect.
Oh no.
Oh no. He's out of this chair. No. Is this ASMR?
Literally that.
Is Brian just doing ASMR now on the stream?
Gotta change that.
Rock Band is ASMR if you turn off the stream sound.
ASMR Rock Band stream when?
Is that why I understand why ASMR is popular? Because I played Rock Band back in the day and all I could hear was
Probably.
plastic clicking.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that sounds good.
Probably.
It's the worst pipeline I've ever thought of. The Rock Band to ASMR
Like,
fan pipeline.
There's other equally, if not worse, pipelines, but yeah, it's pretty bad.
I don't know. You'd have to name one.
Oh damn, it's crazy, Bessie. I think reading will really help you. I know you're illiterate though, so maybe a podcast.
Insane. There's insane slander on the pod today.
Lizzie
Insane
just like
slander.
from like A to like double Z with that burn.
Oh, you
I could not follow.
you like Rock Band? Why are you illiterate? I'm sorry. What the fuck just happened? Lizzie just drove a car through my house somehow.
And you're on the second floor.
What the fuck?
This is why Brian hasn't want to hang out in person recently. He's like,
No. It's because I can't read your texts.
that's why I've been trying to send voice memos, but Discord doesn't let us. It's very
Yeah,
upsetting. It
darn.
helps so much for Brian.
This is why we have a podcast so we can make plans live on it.
Yeah, live on stream and then yell at
And
each
the
other.
plans are to just the next podcast episode.
Yeah.
I mean, This is our calendar app.
Yeah, we just sit in our calendars most of the nights afterwards.
I
We're
will
like,
say
what's this?
Obviously this is an episode about me, but like seeing the growth of you guys since like my first interview with you, like the whole calendar app thing and like even the streaming thing, I was like, damn, they're out here doing it. Look at that.
So I ran into you at this past Riot Fest of 2022,
Yes.
and you know, we had press, we were at it, we were doing the damn thing. I had just talked to, I think, Dan from Wonder Years, and I'm like, okay, like this is all happening, it's all going down. And I ran into you and I was like, Lizzie, I'm feeling emotional right now. I'm having a moment.
Me, and he's like, I'm having a moment. And I'm like, I'm having a moment watching Anberlin Best.
Yeah.
I don't know how we can help each other right now.
It was different because I was like, I just saw Mo and they complimented me and some of the nicest words, and like hearing it from somebody who, you know, I know that you were stressed at the fest because that's just what everybody from Riot Fest is. And so to like have that compliment as we're all like just doing our thing out there, just doing our best, struggling and thriving, and just to know that like, yeah, you were one of our original guests. Obviously we like are very stoked to be a part of the thing that you do for a job as well. And that you were complimenting us on the growth and the work that we'd done. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to feel right now. It's all coming together. Oh God.
Well,
It's all coming together finally.
honestly, like to take it even a step further, like I did not mention that like, oh yeah, I was on that podcast before. So that in itself is just like speaks to your work and it has literally nothing to do with me. Riot Fest reached out to you aside from me, which like is even better. I feel like you're about to start crying.
No. I already cried that weekend.
We all cried that
I got it out. I got it
Maybe I
out.
should shut the fuck up.
No.
But truly, like, it had nothing to do with me and everything to do with you. I literally did none of the work and you did all of it. So, like, anytime you feel like the podcast isn't doing well or you're not doing enough or, like, things are just like, man, we should just quit, like, quite literally everything from that first episode to today and onward is straight up all your guys' work. And like no one else's, regardless of whoever you have as like guests or like whatever you decide to change and everything like that is quite literally just the two of you.
Okay,
So
maybe I'll cry.
that. So don't forget that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're in it to see the work you're doing because you're like, I'm just so fucking heads down on the work that I'm doing all the time. And you
Yes.
don't really see like where you've come from. I talk about this in therapy all the time. It's like, you don't even understand the work you've done. I'm like, no, because I fucking hate it. Because I don't fucking do that. I'm not where I want to be. And then it's like, you are where you want to be. You're finally in that moment, and to be like kind of recognized by somebody who is your friend, but also is somebody who like does the shit too. To say that is just like, oh wait, I am doing the thing. This fucking rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I can't wait to take over the world.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I'm really gunning for it.
Also, this is just bad. I mean, we originally had you for last week, and it would have been better scheduling because we were all nominated for Chicago Readers Best of Chicago.
I know.
But the voting ended already, so this can't be a promo to vote.
So we're all gonna hope that everyone voted for you.
Yeah.
Really fake energy if you didn't.
I wanted to do it last week, and then I was like, I was like during the middle of the week, and I was like, I actually feel like shit. I cannot. So instead of being on the podcast, I just went home and got really, really high.
Hell yeah.
You
Look,
know, I never had that too. Sometimes you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do it to 'em.
both have value.
Yeah, but I am glad that it worked out.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you answered my DM.
Yes.
Always. Well, I answered it. 'cause usually
It's
because
Lizzie.
Brian does like to go on Twitter.
I've deleted my Twitter app off my
Don't.
phone, and it feels
Yeah.
so fucking good.
Not even worth it. Truly, not even.
I'm
worth
missing
it.
all the takes. It's so good.
Oh,
I'm also
it's
missing the
perfect.
DMs.
I mean, whatever, honestly. I had to make a separate one because all I wanted to look at was like anime updates and like cute little illustrations with like bunnies and stuff. So much easier headspace. I love logging into that stupid bird app.
That stupid bird app over there.
Looking at little bunny photo.
I started just to like tweet about like music news and music updates that make me happy after, especially for like my work. My main work is news. And then there's like other issues. They're like, why are you retweeting this? They're like, I think that looks too divisive. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is pretty normal, but whatever. I'm like, then I'm gonna be annoying. And then Fall Out Boy said they're coming back. I'm like, well, I'm everyone's worst nightmare, and then you cannot follow me.
Now I'm a menace.
Now I am a young and a menace.
Settle
like,
down, chill the fuck out. Let's just no mania apology in the chat, please.
Always mania apology. What do you mean, bestie?
I love that somebody else is calling you divisive at least, and not just your illiterate friend who you do a podcast with.
It's people at work. It's a bunch of reporters.
You really took that one to heart.
You said it so many times. I'm more or less just bringing it up as a bit now.
No, it's a bit, yeah.
It's just like, yeah, somebody called me divisive. You called me illiterate 5 seconds ago. Like, no shit, somebody called you divisive.
Listen, Mo, every time that Brian and I hang out in public, it is us just being... People would think we hate each other, and people have said, like, are you guys going to fight? I'm like, what are you talking about? Because we're just being dumb.
Fine.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't give a shit if you were fighting.
No, there's been times where, like, we were in Florida because I was able to get us tickets to my work's beach festival, and I was like, I'm gonna throw you in the ocean. That was right there. He's like, I'm gonna take your ass with me, and then he's like, I'm gonna throw you in the middle of the street. And then we started like trying to do it, and our friends were like, whoa, calm down. We're like, we're fine. Like, what do you mean? Like, I can't actually throw Brian anywhere. I can maybe just like aggressively run into him and hope he moves.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, but we'll never know because we don't need to go that challenge route.
I wonder if I could throw Brian in the street.
I think you could.
I think so too.
I think that's something we could try. I think next Riot Fest, the fun stage is who can throw Brian into Lake Michigan.
We'll lift him and
Lift him
throw
into
Unbelievable. about to be tossed.
You're about to be yeeted.
Uh-oh. It's Yeet Brian hour.
Yeah. Damn, it's not them emo hours anymore. It's those yeeting Brian hours.
I think I got to a place where you were like saying, I'm going to throw you into the ocean. And I was like, I'm going to tell people you voted for DeSantis.
Which I did.
I was going to tell people that.
He's going to lie. Brian has a DeSantis shirt.
I can't wear it. It's like a Halloween costume, but like as just a t-shirt that has Ron DeSantis on it.
Face right now.
Yeah.
They're like meme DeSantis shirts, and he was showing them to me the entire time we were in Florida. I'm like, are you gonna buy this? Or
no, there weren't any around.
You think you're funny?
I just thought it was funny, and then I received one for real, and then I'm like, I don't think it's funny anymore. Uh-oh. Like, I'm a tourist.
I am but a tourist. I am death cab for cutie.
It's like if you go to a Bass Pro, and Alice knows this because Alice bought me this shirt. But you go to Bass Pro Shop and you're like, I'm a tourist. This shit is hilarious. And then all of a sudden you're like on Zillow looking at places to live there. And it's like, oh shit, I'm not a tourist anymore. I can't live here. I gotta go. I'm logging off.
Yeah, do not live at the Bass Pro Shop or Florida.
I'm not going to live in the Bass Pro Shop.
You might.
I mean, they have a lot of camping gear.
Yeah, I know how you are about the Bass Pro Shop.
It's pretty legit.
Honestly, I feel like you could do it. I also feel like you could just start rocking like a fishing vest as like normal wear. They have so many pockets for snacks.
Look, I think it's a disaster that we give the most utility to the worst people in our society.
Absolutely.
Take utility back.
Cargo shorts.
Are you wearing cargo shorts this summer, Brian?
No. No, I'm not wearing cargo shorts. That's not the life I want to live.
It's not the life.
You see what I mean? Lizzie's just divisive.
Bony knees.
It would be pretty easy to hide in a Bass Pro Shop in the camo section.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you're right.
So we have a few minutes left before we're going to end the recording and we're going to hang out over on Twitch. And I just want to give a chance, Mo, for you to plug all your socials, where people can find you on the internet, where people can, where can they go to Riot? I don't know. Like,
where do you want people to go and talk to you or interact with you?
I feel like it would be a disservice if I did not plug the Riot Fest TikTok, where my face is mostly there all of the time. I think it is the best space for me to exist because I get to uplift bands that normally wouldn't be listened to. So please go there, just Riot Fest on TikTok. If you really want to, you can follow my Twitter, which is _MODORO. And then you can follow me on Instagram. It's lastfinalfinal.psd.
one of my favorite usernames, by the way.
Yeah. When you made those pins, I was like, I feel this, but for Adobe Audition.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, or, maybe we'll see each other in the real world. We won't, because I don't leave my house.
Oh, man. It depends probably on what show you're going to. Maybe we can get you out to a show.
I don't like music. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's really crazy.
Giving all these
Is it just
bands a
white
chance, but I don't know if this band's good or not because I don't listen to music, but I really
Well,
like.
you know what? They look kind of cool. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, they make noise. That's sick.
Yeah. 100 gex, just noise. That's what the kids are looking for, right?
I mean, they go hard, though, so...
They
This goes so fucking hard.
Oh, man, Brian, we got to get tickets to see my Aragon. I still haven't bought those.
Isn't it sold out?
I will cry.
Probably. It's Gex. Probably sold out.
We saw Gex at Concord, and that
we
was
did,
the single
yeah.
most chaotic show
We
I think
got
I've ever
gecked,
been to.
We
did get gecked. I got gecked in the pit, and I dead ass thought I was going to die.
That's
in
an
that pit.
incredible verb.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
But yeah.
We shouldn't say what shows we're going to see each other at. Because then it's like, let's just dox everybody.
I think I'm definitely going to be at Wonder Years. Because how can I miss that?
I didn't get tickets to that because I was waiting, and then all of a sudden they sold out because I really want to see Hot Mulligan again. So I'm going to see if our one friend Andrew has another ticket.
Only if you knew a person.
An anecdote.
Only if I knew a person. I know, it would be really crazy, actually, if I knew someone.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to, like, do it without jumping in anyone's DMs. Like, the compliment you gave about us being at Riot Fest on our own merit, it's like, yeah, but also now I have to get more places on our own merit. Shit, my merit's not good here.
Shit, my merit, all my merits
Expired.
But sir, my merits. Please let me into venue. I have merits.
merits. Like, all these people in here know who I am. And we point at, like, our one friend Craig, and we're like, it's him.
It's him.
I don't know. He would be like, I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Oh, yeah, no, he'd be okay at me. He'd tell you, Brian, be like, I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
I've never seen that guy before in my life. We went to college together. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, they're real homies.
But I'd have to show all that, and no one at the venue is going to care.
Yeah.
You have to pull up, like, your own college photos, be like, hey.
Maybe you'll find a person.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I believe in you.
I'm going to bring my resume around with me to show people.
Can you let me in?
Can you let me in? This is my resume.
These are my accolades.
I still have. These are my accolades.
Okay. Everyone, though, would agree with me that if Ticketmaster forced you to provide accolades before you could buy a ticket to a concert, everyone would live a lot happier.
See, Brian's talking about not gatekeeping, but here he is gatekeeping.
Are you saying that people should show their papers?
Damn, Brian.
I just think we need to make sure who is supposed to be here.
Listen, Brian, I am also too salty that we didn't get Paramore tickets for Chicago Theater.
I was talking about Taylor Swift. We're going to go ahead and we're going to end the recording here. I wasn't really trying to get Taylor Swift tickets, so that's
lies.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie for a bit. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to end the recording of the podcast here. We're going to hang out for a little bit over on Twitch with Mo. This will be some extra content. We can't promise it's going to be good, but it's there and it exists.
It might be divisive.
It might be divisive.
I mean,
it might.
Considering how the rest of the night has gone, I would not put it past you.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do that. If you're listening to this, make sure you're following Mo on everything. Hire a graphic designer for all the work you have. Hopefully it's Mo. If not, then pay somebody. Just pay everybody.
Pay
Just pay
everybody.
everyone.
Give Mo money for the sake of other graphic designers you might hire.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
hey, give them half the money and then give them like 20 crates of like chickens and or eggs and these trying times.
Probably the eggs, not so much the chickens.
Fair.
But that's
We'll
an
figure
egg
it out.
factory.
We'll figure it out.
Are chickens just
We'll
egg
negotiate,
factories?
It's fine.
All right. And we're done.
And thanks for Mo, thank you very much for
Yeah,
coming
thank
back
you.
on the podcast.
Of course.